Previous stock sell-offs where you at least get some cushion here. Nope, not getting it today. 440. This time treasuries are being sold as investors sell stocks as well. Dollars down, yields are higher.
So in other words, people are dumping U.S. debt. They're dumping the dollar at the same time the market goes down, which again is unlike any economic calamity that we've seen in our lifetimes. Usually when the market gets hit, the other things get stronger. The dollar gets stronger. The flight to safety, as it's called. Hey, I want cash because I don't like investments right now. People are going at the moment, I don't want cash, I don't want dollars, and I don't want to invest. I'm dumping everything, dog. So in the long run, again, this is wildly unsustainable. So let me give you a big article in the Wall Street Journal. Dow headed for the worst April since 1932 as investors send no confidence signal. So in other words, worst April since the Great Depression. The Great Depression. Few think the administration's negotiations with trade partners will yield results soon enough to ease the strain. By the way, they were saying, we're going to have 90 deals in 90 days and it's going to be amazing. How many deals have they made so far? Donut. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Nothing. So perhaps they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're massively incompetent. They're incredibly stupid on top of being deeply corrupt. So they say the Trump rout is taking on historic dimensions. The Dow Jones Industrial Average shed almost 1,000 points on Monday and is headed for its worst April performance since 1932, according to Dow Jones market data. The S&P 500's performance since Inauguration Day is now the worst for any president up to this point in data going back to 1928, according to Bespoke Investment Group. Worries about trade restrictions and the prospect of Trump firing Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell have investors bracing for greater losses ahead. Corporate earnings reports are rolling in, along with executives' tariff-dented outlooks for the months ahead. Few think the administration's negotiations with trade partners will yield results soon enough to ease the strain. Meanwhile, counterweights that usually strengthen when stocks fall, such as government bonds and the U.S. dollar, are also under pressure, leaving investors with few havens to wait out the storm. I'm going to get to the haven in a second and what this particular haven means for us. It's the hallmark of the no-confidence trade, said Scott Ladner, chief investment officer at Horizon Investments. The Charlotte-based firm trimmed its U.S. equity position several weeks ago to favor more international stocks. It's impossible to commit capital to an economy that is unstable and unknowable because of policy structure. So, and then they go into here's how stocks reacted, treasuries reacted, the dollar, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, now, gold is massively outperforming the stock market by a whopping 42.5% so far this year. And I think this honestly is a little bit outdated. This is from, a few days back. And so stocks are collapsing. Gold is spiking to record highs. Now, why does that matter? It matters because, as I pointed out, what's called the flight to safety used to be the dollar got stronger as stocks went down because the dollar is the world reserve currency, so everybody has supreme confidence in the dollar. But now, people are starting to realize, hey, I don't know how much longer the dollar is going to be the world reserve currency. People aren't going to want dollars anymore because the government that has the dollar and issues the dollar is completely chaotic, completely unstable. They're not good to their word. They do trade wars on their allies. They're threatening actual wars against their allies. We don't like them. Nobody likes them. We don't want to be married to the hip to this nation. They're in no position to lead and be the world reserve currency. So what's happening is people are saying, what was viewed as the world currency before the dollar? Gold. So this is a move of, oh, the dollar's not safe, but I know what is safe. Because in a scenario where we get off the dollar as the world reserve currency, I mean, there's many paths you can take. But the thing people are assuming will happen is, well, let's just go back on the gold standard. Like, let's have gold be the default international money system, right? Now, it's also possible in a scenario that the yuan, which is the Chinese currency, that might become the world reserve currency in due time. I don't know exactly when, but that'll be in the conversation. Setting up some sort of currency that just doesn't exist yet, but could be viewed as an international currency. That's a potentiality. But for sure, gold going up is a direct sign that we feel like a depression is coming, and we feel like the U.S. dollar is absolutely cooked. I mean, think about the impacts of this, man. Prices are going to go up for people massively. At the same time, mass layoffs are going to happen. We're going to have stagflation. This is not going to be like anything we've ever experienced. And again, it's kind of looking like, regardless of what Trump tries to do now, there's no way out of this because he destroyed the trust. He destroyed the confidence that the world had in the United States of America. Let me also give you this. In the 3 weeks since the tariffs took effect, ocean container bookings from China to the United States are down over 60% industry-wide. Do you understand what this means? This means empty shelves at Walmart. This means empty shelves at Target. This means the era of the cheap consumer good is officially donezo. That's what this means. 60%. It's down 60% industry-wide. So again, the market is starting to realize, oh my God, this is real as a heart attack. We got problems here, bro. We got problems we've never experienced in modern American history here. So, this is quite a warning. Now, the craziest thing is we saw this coming all along. Anybody who follows this stuff remotely closely and has a basic understanding of how politics and economics works, we saw this coming from a mile away. And what's extra pathetic is that it's almost like investors look for any sign of hope from the Trump administration, and then whenever they give them any little morsel of hope, the stock market goes up again, only to reverse that trend within a day or two and plummet again as soon as people realize he's full of shit, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's making an ass of himself in the United States on the global stage, and people are just fucking done with us. They are just done with us. So, I wish I had a nice little cherry on top, some positive news to leave for you at the end of this segment. I guess I do in the sense that, and we'll talk about this in a minute, Trump says, oh yeah, no, the tariffs on China are not going to be as high as we're saying they are now. Like, don't worry, like, we're going to get it all figured out. It's going to be great. I have tremendous respect for President Xi, tremendous respect. And that's because now Trump and his administration, they are also genuinely panicking because they did not expect this to go this far. They thought they could effectively bully the world into submission, and the world had no choice because the U.S. is the indispensable nation and they have to work with us. But what it looks like the Trump administration is realizing is, oh my God, this is not going anywhere near how I thought it would, and everybody's basically telling us to fuck off. I mean, we covered the story of the Japanese delegation talking to the U.S., and Japan is a top ally of ours, and they said to the U.S., what do you guys want? Like, let's talk about a deal. What do you want? And the administration went, I don't know. What? And so the Japanese delegation left without a deal. I mean, these people are chickens with their heads cut off, running around in circles, trying to run the country, trying to run the global economy. And then add on top of that, as you all know, the personal angle of this, which is there's definitely insider trading going on, and there's definitely shorting the market at times, and they're definitely involved in these massive corrupt schemes. So add incompetence and stupidity with corruption. And like, why wouldn't we be in this position? Again, we saw it coming from a mile away. But it looks like the market is just catching on now, and even the Trump administration is just catching on now. There was a quote from Trump a little while ago when the market first started going down. He was like, we can handle a recession, but I don't want it to be a depression. And his actions now are proving he thinks, oh shit, this could be a depression. And he's right. But I don't know if there's anything he could do after all the damage he's already done. I don't know if there's anything he could do to stave that off at this point. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.